The pressure difference across a curved liquid surface. When you look at a liquid surface, when you take water in a glass vessel or something, you can see that the surface of water, it is not exactly flat. It is actually a curved one. So at the curved surface, at the curved free surface of a liquid, there will be a difference in pressure. You know, below the surface of water, there is water actually, and just above the water surface, we have air. So it is actually the surface, it is an interface between liquid and vapor. Just above the water surface, there will be water vapor also. So we can say that it is a liquid vapor interface. So there is a difference in pressure between this liquid side and the vapor side. If both the pressure are same, that means pressure on the liquid side and pressure on the vapor side, if both the pressures are same, the surface of liquid will be exactly flat. That means plain liquid surface we will have. But if we have a curved liquid surface, it means that there is a difference in pressure between the liquid side and the vapor side. Here, if we have the concave surface as shown in figure C, we have concave liquid surface. If the surface is like that, we can say that the pressure on the vapor side is more than that on the liquid side. Pressure on the vapor side is more on the than the pressure on the liquid side. Similarly, in the case of B, that means if the surface is convex upwards, we can say that the pressure on the liquid side is more than that on the vapor side. That's what we have. So if the surface is convex, there is a resultant downward force acting downwards. That means for the molecules on the surface. And the pressure, it should be, that means on the liquid side, the pressure is more than the pressure on the vapor side for the convex surface. That's what PL greater than PV. And if it is concave, the reverse is the case. We have PV greater than PL. And if it is not at all curved, it means that pressure on the liquid side, it is equal to pressure on the vapor side. Now we have excess pressure inside a liquid drop. Actually, we already discussed that it is due to surface tension, the liquid drop takes the shape of a sphere. By the property of surface tension, it has a tendency to minimize its surface area, and it is because of that tendency, the liquid or drop, it takes the shape of a sphere. Now, we discuss this excess pressure. That means due to this curved surface, we already said there is a difference in pressure between the liquid side and the vapor side. So since the drop is spherical in shape, inside the liquid drop and outside the liquid drop, there will be a pressure difference. So actually inside the liquid drop, there will be more pressure compared to the pressure outside. So that's what we mean by excess pressure inside a liquid drop. So to find the expression for that excess pressure, we consider a liquid drop of spherical shape whose radius is r. Let sigma be the surface tension. You can take it as S because we already took S as the surface tension. So instead of sigma, you can take S as the surface tension. Due to spherical shape, there is excess of pressure P inside the drop. We already discussed it. Now, this excess pressure will be acting normally outwards. So, pressure, we know it is the normal force per unit area. So, this force due to excess pressure will be acting normal to the surface outwards because excess pressure is there inside. So, it will be acting outwards normal to the surface. Now, suppose under this excess pressure, force due to excess pressure, suppose the radius of the drop increase from r to r plus dr. So, radius of the drop, it is increasing under the action of this excess pressure. So, we can take the initial surface area, we know it is 4 pi r square. When the radius increases to r plus dr, the new final surface area, it becomes 4 pi into r plus dr whole square. So we have 4 pi into r square plus 2r dr plus dr square. Now we take only up to 2r dr, because dr, that fraction through which the radius increases, it will be very small. So when we take it square, it becomes that much negligible. For example, we say 0.1, it is small. If we square 0.1, we are getting 0.01, which is still smaller. So higher power dr square we are neglecting. So we have the final surface area as 4 pi r square plus 8 pi r dr. So the increase in surface area. So this figure shows that the action of excess pressure which is outward, and that increase in radius through dr. Now increase in surface area will be final area minus initial area. So we have 4 pi r square plus 8 pi r dr minus 4 pi r square, which is 8 pi r dr. Now we can see that if this radius increases through dr, surface area has increased and there may be an increase in the energy of the surface. So the total increase in the energy will be equal to surface energy into increase in surface area. We know surface energy is the same as surface tension. So in short, increase in area into surface tension will be the work done in increasing the area of the liquid drop. When the radius increases, we know area also is increasing. So work done in that expansion, it is nothing but increase in surface area into surface tension. So increase in surface area is 8 pi r dr, that into surface tension S. And we already know by definition of work done is force into displacement. Here, which force is doing this work? Force due to excess pressure. We assume that inside the liquid drop the pressure is Pi and outside it is Po. So Pi minus Po. We denote that excess pressure as small letter P. So here small letter P stands for excess pressure, which can be Pi minus Po. So that is that excess pressure, and area we take it as A. That is the area of the liquid surface. So the force on the liquid surface which is acting normally, it is pressure into area, that is P into A. And the distance through which it gets expanded, it is dr. So work done, it is force into displacement. So pressure into area into displacement. So we have P into 4 pi r square, that is the area, into the displacement. We know it is the distance through which the radius has increased is dr. So that displacement there, it comes as dr. So P into 4 pi r square into dr. So we have P into 4 pi r square into dr as the work done, and this work done comes as the increase in surface energy. You know, increase in surface energy we already discussed, 8 pi r dr into S. So by equating both, because both will be same, so we have P into 4 pi r square into dr equal to 8 pi r dr into S. So some terms are getting cancelled and we get an expression for excess pressure. P is equal to 2S by R. So excess pressure inside a liquid drop, it is 2S by R, whereas is the surface tension. So we can say that it is due to this property of surface tension, the excess and excess pressure inside the liquid drop. Now we consider a bubble, a soap bubble. So what is the difference between liquid drop and a bubble? The similarity is this, both are spherical in shape. But liquid drop, it has got only one interface between air and liquid. But in the case of bubble, there are two interfaces between the liquid and air, one outside and one inside. So there are two surfaces for the liquid or soap bubble. So we can proceed in the same way as we did earlier. So we have increase in surface area as 8 pi r dr. So that effective increase in area, because as I said, there are two surfaces for bubble, one inside and the other outside. So increase in area, it will be twice as compared to the case of drop. So actually effective increase in surface area for the bubble, it will be 2 into 8 pi r dr. That means 16 pi r dr. So increase in surface energy will be 16 pi r dr into S. So as we discussed earlier, work done by the force due to excess pressure we can write as P into 4 pi r square into dr, where P is the excess pressure. So we have work done by the excess pressure, force due to excess pressure, that is equal to the increase in surface energy. By equating, we get the expression for excess pressure as P equal to 4S by R, where S is the surface tension. So inside a liquid drop, the excess pressure is 2S by R, and inside a soap bubble, the pressure is 4S by R. Now if we consider an air bubble in liquid, so air bubble in a liquid, it is the same as a liquid drop in air. So the excess pressure inside an air bubble, it will be the same as 2S by R, because an air bubble, it is similar to a liquid drop in air. Air bubble in a liquid is the same as a liquid drop in air. So its excess pressure inside an air bubble, it is 2S by R, whereas is the surface tension and R is the radius.